Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jennifer with Alta My Closet. So today's video I'm going to be talking about hair. And yes guys, I am trying to get it right with the full look from head to toe. Just trying to get the right do for the summer, just to match with the way I'm dressing. So I have gotten some compliments on my hair, and I will show a little bit of what I did. I know some of my recent videos, I spoke about how I've been styling my natural short hair, but I don't know, for me, I'm always, ever since I started styling my own hair as a teenager, I may look this way today and I'm going to, possibly look a different way tomorrow. And over the weekend, we were joking around, just saying, how are we to keep up with each other when we do so many changes to ourselves? So sometimes we may walk past each other not realizing or recognizing who the person is. And so we were just joking about that, except for the mannerism and stuff like that, you may, pick upon who it is. But with the changes with the hairdos and the makeup and stuff like that, you just never know who you're going to see tomorrow. So I have been using more makeup, ended up finding, more rouge, what is it, blush for the cheeks, right? And doing more of the eyeshadow and the foundation and all that. So I'm doing a little bit more, and yeah, I think it's just coming together, like I said, especially for the summer. I was trying to find some products here locally, what I saw on Amazon, but the colors that I'm looking for, they don't have it locally in the stores. And I don't know if you know, guys, most of these Walgreens here in the US are closing out. I didn't even know that. I went to this one Walgreens in my neighborhood and they were completely out of products. They were liquidated. And then I went to 3 other Walgreens in, like the surrounding neighborhoods, and they didn't have the products I was looking for. So I'm going to have to shop Amazon. And of course, Amazon, you got to buy a certain amount if you don't have Prime in order to get free shipping. And I really didn't want to go up to that amount, really. That's why I was trying to find it locally. But I guess that's how it is. But yeah, so today I kind of just wanted to talk about hair. And from my title, I stated the struggle is real hair. So wearing my real hair is a challenge. As you can see from some of my, recent videos, I was using different products in order to maintain my hair. And I did those videos in order to share with others, who's not like me, pretty much will have short hair today and long hair tomorrow. Those people who are more consistent, right? So I did those videos for that purpose. So it's not to say to hold me to keep on styling my hair that way, because, I'm flexible, and I like to make changes, sometimes sporadically, and sometimes, for a while, I know I went with the natural hair, but I stated before, I love my weaves, I love my braids, and so it's easier for me to get up and get dressed, and not worry about my hair. So, with that said, the struggle that I have with my natural hair is for one, it's thinning, especially in the front. And the back part is it still remains thick. But the front part, even with my braids, when I do my braids, you can see the thinning, more so in the front. And what I did was to do braids underneath, around here, and then cover it over here in the front with the crochet braids, which I recently learned to do, and I'm so happy. Even though it's not like secure sometimes, because I do still have to keep tightening the crochet braid in the front, seems like, the actual hair itself, like this. I have to keep pulling on it sometimes to keep it, from coming loose. But I'm glad that I learned to do it, because it does help with the coverage with the thinning here in the front. Because what I did was just to part a little circle in the front part here. Then I did individual braids. And then after cornrowing and putting the crochet, I made a little side part from that and just covered over using that top part on the crochet and covered over, the braids. Yeah, because here in the front, just, is not as thick as the back. And I don't like to see all that space on my scalp, so I just covered it. I actually wanted to do some more here, because before I used to do like braids everywhere, and I find that I had to do the front part here real close in order for it to look full. And that kind of puts the weight on your actual hair and can cause more damage to it. So like I said, I'm glad I learned to do the cornrows and then do the crochet braid. The next thing that I was trying to avoid is the color. So with the grays and stuff like that, I was saying I really wasn't ready to embrace the grays, because and another thing that I realized was the process of getting it to, be completely gray. So putting the color on it, consistently, it's like when the color is growing out, it has those two different colors. But at that point, I guess, you can cut the ends and, have the gray growing fully and stuff like that. But, from what I see, guys, they're grays and they're grays and they're grays. There's some dusty gray. There's some brown gray. There's some, blue gray. They're just different shades of gray. And I'm not sure what kind of gray I am. But I would love for my hair to be like my girl Sheila on Real Life with Sheila. Her hair is completely gray and very pretty. And I know she went through a process to get it to be like that, because I've been watching some of her videos. But her gray right now is just off the chain beautiful. And so I don't know if my hair gray is gonna be like that. I have to, probably wait and see, but I don't have the patience right now. So for now, I'm working with other stuff. The next thing is the shedding with my hair. So there are times when I comb it all the way through, and there are times when I don't. I'll just, rub it with the products and, rub my finger through it and kind of shape it to how I want it to shape and just keep it moving. But when I do that, after a while it sheds and, combing it through, it's kind of breaking and stuff like that. So yeah, that's just another thing that I'm like, okay, let me just go ahead and put my braids in. I have entertained the idea of locking my hair, but I am the kind of person who love to, do different things to my hair. Even though I'm thinking with locking it, you can do different styles, but I am not opposed to that. Left to, be seen in the future. As I get older, I may just end up doing the, what they call it, sister lock. that's something that I entertain. But yeah, that's an idea. And after locking it, that may be it. No more, thinking about weaves and braids and stuff like that. That may be it for me. God's willing, I get to be in my 70s. I don't want to fool around with my hair. The next thing is relaxer. I have also entertained going back to a relaxer. But being natural for so long, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can deal with the burn and, all of that. But another thing that I noticed, when I do put the relaxer in, it thins my hair. My hair is like thin and I have to be combing over stuff and all that. So, relaxer, I'd say 20% on my book. And then with weave, I used to do a nice full head of weave. I'm going to show you some pictures and transitions because majority of the styles that I'm going to show you is what I, did myself. I hardly go to the beautician because I'm so tender-headed and so particular with my hair. I will just leave and then go home and do something different to my hair. So I hardly go to the, the beautician to get my hair done. But I'm not opposed to that either. I'm just, the kind of person who loves to do my own hair when I do have the time and feel like it. So, yeah, I think I touched on most of the challenges that I've experienced. And so, come now to doing the braiding. Honestly, guys, I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep this in for. But it feels okay for right now. But I've done my hair before. It feels good. And then in like a week, it just starts irritating me. This is working. Got up, got dressed. Didn't have to worry about combing my hair. The thing about wearing the weaves and the braids and stuff like that is, of course you still got to maintain it. My grays are still showing here in the front. And so what I do is, put that, it's called Cream of Nature. So I just, use a toothbrush and kind of brush in the black color over this so it blends in with the gray. The gray hair blends in with the braids. Okay, and so I'll go through and part it and grease it, and just keep it moisturized under the braiding here, and making sure that my natural hair is getting the care and the treatment that it needs. So yeah, pretty much that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. So if you guys have any questions on just how I go about doing my maintenance and how I go about with my challenges that I'm experiencing, and if you guys are going through that, just drop me a comment, please, and I'll be happy to share. But yeah, like I said, I'll show some pictures of some of the styles that I've gone through, the different looks. And like I said, I've just always been that way since I was a teenager. I actually started braiding customers here when I was 14 years old. I don't know if I ever mentioned that before. I had my first real customer when I was 14. I remember my mom sent me to get a relaxer um, because she waited a while before, giving me a relaxer. Because I used to be afraid of her even washing and, combing out my hair. I remember one of my brother, he used to sit with me because I would cry so much, when she was doing my hair. So he was so sweet. He used to sit with me while I went through that agony. And so I remember, my mom set me up on our porch where we lived. She set up a porch area there, and I had a high chair and client's chair, and that's how I started my hair business when I was 14. So just to look back, I've always been using my hands. Like I said in one of my video, the gift that God gave me, I've always been using my hands to make a living, because it wasn't an official living, because that couldn't really feed me, clothe me, shelter me, and all that, but it was just to have some money in my pocket. So I was very grateful for that. And so from the hair business, I went into helping my mom with her business with the sewing, which I also spoke about on one of my videos. So yeah, it came back, to where I went off to school, did business, and of course life took a different turn, and I did other things, and now I'm back to sewing. I did do some worked in the beauty salon industry back in Atlanta. This was over 15 years ago. I managed my brother's salon in Atlanta, but yeah, just transition, kept on going. Then I went into finance, and now I'm back to sewing, and just putting the whole package, like I said, together. The hair, the makeup, the wardrobe, making sure, that our clothes are fitted. In my previous video, I spoke about, weight loss, which it really wasn't intentional. I had some digestive problems and just couldn't eat the way I normally eat. So I lost some weight there. Then my clothes started falling off and everything. So I realized, I had to, pay better attention to the way I was looking, going out in public. So yeah, today, I don't know if I had this blouse on at some point in any of my videos, but this is my look for today. I am wearing some black tights. And I love this blouse. This is I think it's from I got this from Macy's. It's the Alfani brand, and kind of look like a what would you call it? A scarf kind of thing, but that's the look. So yeah, just trying to put the whole package together. Like I said, the makeup, the hair. And just, feeling more comfortable in my skin. So, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I think I'm at 91 subscribers right now, and I thank all who subscribed to the channel. And I know I've been getting, some views, and it would be really nice if those viewers could subscribe as well. If you believe in my channel and believe my channel is safe enough for you to, be able to watch. Your children can also watch, teenagers can watch. It is a clean channel, but please like, comment, and subscribe, if you consider that. And you guys will see me on the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.